Oh, hey guys, Chowser here, and now it's time to talk about the King of the Pirates, Goldie Roger. And we're nearing the start of this event and release of this Sugo, so yeah, it will be fun. I will personally do some pulls for Oden, we'll see how many. Depends on the info we get about the Sugo Fest. Tomorrow most likely, 24 hours before it starts. But yeah, let's talk about Roger, and he's a free spirit slasher, and he has 3 limit break abilities, and rage, lost bind, and critical hit. And I know that his critical hit is 100% chance of 10% more damage, so that's the same as Luffy and Law has, for example. And if you've used them a lot, you'll know that it adds quite a bit of damage regularly, so it's one of the best limit breakers abilities you can have, in my opinion. So that's very nice. Okay, so all good so far. Let's move on. And I forgot to say, like last week, that these images were compiled by Fick from the subreddit Discord server, so thanks for that. It makes it easy for me to look. And the special nullifies the effects of remove beneficial effects and remove accumulated value once per quest. Boosts crew's attack by 4.5 times, HP by 1.3 times, and completely removes crew's despair. If character uses his special, character's captain ability is the following, and it's the same except 5 times attack. So yeah, obviously, one of the best captain abilities in the game. The first part of the special, of the text, is about super clear that bosses can do, which removes all buffs you have, which can be annoying, and this works similarly to Legend Brook, where he gets a little shiny thing on his image, and then the enemy tries and remove stuff, you remove your buffs, and it gets triggered, and it doesn't happen. And if you run 2 Roger, he'll have 1 for each unit, and we're pretty sure each Roger will be able to do it once, since he works like Brook, probably. But we've not been able to confirm this, but it's a safe guess. So that's obviously super strong, and will keep Roger relevant as captain for a very long time. Other than that, consistent rainbow 4.5 times attack, very good. Nice with a bit of HP boost too, and yeah, then you use his special and you get even more attack. And we know that 5 times attack will be good for quite some time too. Yeah, let's look at the special. So, his special lets you deal 1 million damage to all enemies that goes through everything, including normal attack only. He also boosts his crew's attack for 1 turn, based on the total damage dealt with normal attacks before special is launched. And it goes from 2 times to 3 times, depending on how much damage Roger has done. That is important, we'll talk about that. If character is captain, friend captain, or helper captain, desk guest captain, extends the duration of the crew's slot effects boost by 1 turn when special is launched. And that is one thing that isn't talked about a lot, but it's a big reason why this Roger is really good as a captain. We'll talk about that when we talk about units we can pair with Roger later. But yeah, the 1 million damage to all, it's nice. Like on sometimes you'll often want to use a special on stage 4, and there might be some mini bosses with a bit less HP, so you are just sure you can do 1 million damage to them, and a lot of the times that will be enough to take out small mobs and such. So not a bad special, but not a bad part of the special, but not as hyped as it has been. Like in current One Piece Treasure Cruise, 1 million damage for bosses is not a lot, it's barely a dent. So yeah, but of course, good to have. And this attack boost is very interesting. Of course, 3 times attack is the new max value you can have. Before it was 2.75. And it's interesting how we get it because it's about how much damage Roger does before he uses the special in the previous stages, so throughout the whole run. And while 3 million isn't that hard, it's not free either, so it's like maybe the most interesting thing about him, I feel, because the beginning of the run is not just stall specials and get to the good part, but you also have to put in a bit of an effort to get to that 3 million. Like let's say in Colosseum, you will probably want to use this special on the 4th stage, let's say that. If you run double Roger, that is. And then you have 3 stages to do this 3 million with Roger. And you will probably want to do most of that in stage 3. But might as well try and get as most damage as you can on stage 1 and 2 as well. So yeah. And this will also make it a bit harder to get that 3 times attack for Kisna. So yeah. It's actually more interesting. Like in the beginning we thought it was like, oh, total damage by the whole crew. But it seems, you're free to correct me if I'm wrong, from what I've heard, it's just about the Roger himself. So that makes it a lot more interesting, I feel. It's probably the coolest part about him, in my opinion. Okay. So in his super type, you can read yourself what units you have to run. The most interesting one is Ace. Yeah. Makes sense, but it's still kind of fun. And yeah, he has a interesting super type actually. Is just very good to have. All slots, including block, are changed to your own type. Important. And his crew slots get locked and sidecars become super Psy. It will be like, if it was any better, Roger would be way too broken. So it's good that it's still super good, but not adding even more damage and stuff. So it's still very good considering what he does and who you can pair him with. Okay, let's go back to the image. And there's one thing here that's missing, and that's the sailor abilities. Roger probably won't see that much use of sailor, in the beginning at least. But he has plus 100 in all stats to all units. Not bad. And he treats all type slots as beneficial, which is obviously nice, but in general you want him to give one more beneficial to the whole crew or something like that. It's often hard to build around just Roger having all type slots beneficial, but it's obviously not bad. Okay, so let's talk a bit about units to pair up with. Let's first start with if you own Roger, and the way he's built, you're supposed to use double Roger and the new Oden as sub. Not many will be able to do this for quite some time, but if you can do it, it's probably the most overpowered combination in One Piece treasure clues. Okay, listen to this. First, on stage 4, let's assume this is a Colosseum. Stage 4, you use a Roger super type. All units get their own slot, a matching slot, and he locks the orbs. Then you use Oden special, and because everybody has a matching slot, their own color, all orbs turn to Wano, and you get a 2-turn orb boost. If the boss tries to remove the orb boost, Roger's captain ability to resist that gets applied, and as long as they don't do anything other, like adding slot bind or do an attack down or something like that, you are fine. You keep the orb buff, orb boost, and then you use one of the Roger specials, and you extend the slot boost to 3 turns, so you can carry it over, and then you also get a 2.5 times or 3 times attack with Roger. And then you move on to the boss stage, you carry over the 1 orbs, since they were locked, you carry over the orb boost, and if the enemy tries to remove stuff again potentially, then Roger's captain ability again stops that. So you are pretty much fine. And then you can use the other Roger, and you can have up to 3 times attack, 2.5 times orb boost, 1 orbs for even more damage, and they can't be removed. So yeah, it's an insanely silly combination. But yeah, what about other units? Like if you don't have Roger. Like Roger is Rainbow, he can be paired with anything. But we think about his special ability of extending Orb Boost. The first one that comes to mind is V3 Law. He's also Free Spirit, he boosts Free Spirit like Roger. He does a 2 turns Orb Boost. Roger makes it 3. And then you can have another unit for the last stage to do an attack boost, potentially, or something like that. So that can work very well. Another unit that does a 2-turn Orb Boost that you can use as a sub is Treasure Map, Smoothie, and Oven. So that's another potential unit you can use to pair up with Roger. Otherwise, as captain, like Roger is Rainbow, he can pair up with anyone. You can save his special for the final stage. You can use him just for his innate captain abilities, like resisting despair, resisting the super clears. Like that alone makes him very versatile and usable in a lot of situations. So, my main problem with him personally is that all things that stand out about him is purely due to being overpowered with power creep. Like we talked a bit about his special with the damage. That's kind of interesting, but that's also all it is. The rest is stuff you get for free, which also means that this shard is super good. If you don't care that much about building teams, you just want someone to help you clear content, like there's not many better than this guy. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed, and I know many of you are looking to get him, so I wish all of you who pull for him all the best, and see you next time.